Hello YouTube, this is the Flying Sandal. Today I'm here to talk to you about something new. Something that has been a long time in the making, almost as soon as I released this. What these are my series charging boards. This is the original one, and thank you to everybody who purchased one and gave me feedback. It's been successful, but there's definitely been some requests to improve this. And that's why I came out with this new one, which is a version 2. So let me tell you a little bit about what these are and how they're meant to be used. Basically, these are series chargers for Whoop batteries, such as these. Now, these Whoop charging boards work in series. And so the original one would always need 4 batteries that you would plug in. And you would plug them in very easily, like this. And when you put the batteries in series, and you, by the way, you would always need to do 4 batteries at a time. And there's a good reason for that. The main reason and purpose of having the 4 batteries is simplicity. You know, I always had an option to make these simple and basic, or to try to give more functionality. Now, with more functionality, the challenge was to still keep it simple and try to help people avoid making a mistake or an error in charging their batteries. So that's the reason why this one was designed as basic as it was, and it would always require 4 batteries. Now, I gotta recognize that maybe I underestimated the FPV community and the people who fly Whoops, because the feedback that I got consistently is, let me use 6 cells, let me charge from 1 to 6, and also let me charge the Betaflight BT 2.0 connector batteries. Now, I'm going to show you that there's a space designed for those connectors. The connectors are not pre-installed on the board, and there's a good reason, and quite honestly, it's the cost. If I did that, it would pretty much double the cost of these boards. So instead of doing that, and because I know that not everybody's going to want to do it, I am leaving these spaces available, where basically you would just plug in the board, the plug. You would just put it in here, and I'm going to show you that this board will come out of the base if you give it a good tug. You know, rely on the main battery leads, but you can see that it will come out. It's just pressure fitted in there, and when it does come out, it looks like this. And so in the back, it's very simple. You would simply put the connector through those ports, and just with a soldering iron very gently put a dab of solder. Now, Race Day Quad sells these boards, and they also sell the connectors. So you can just get the connectors if you want to, get enough for 1 or 2 boards, and then you'll be all set to charge both the PH2 connectors or the BT 2.0 connectors, okay? So I'm going to continue this video just with the regular PH2 connectors. And so basically, the way that this will work is very similar to the other one. You plug in as many batteries as you want to charge. In this case, I'm going to start with just a couple of them. Now, this being a series circuit, needs to be connected and closed. So that's what this little guy is for. It's labeled last cell, and so basically what you do is you plug it in. Once you plug in your last cell, you plug in the connector, and that will let you close the series circuit. That's it. So now you should be able to charge 2 batteries. So let me demonstrate it in action. It'll work from 1 to 6 batteries. And so right now I'm just powering this charger with a 4S battery. Now, these little batteries are 250 milliamp hours. So I don't want to charge them at more than 0.3 amp hours, right? Or 300 milliamp hours. So you plug in the balancer lead into the charger, like so. And then you plug in the XT60 connector. So the reason we put these connectors is so that you can use your large charger. Now, when you click on the battery view for this, what you're going to notice is that we have the 2 batteries. We're showing the voltage, and it's treating this just like a pack, a 2S pack, right? And so when I click on select, I can select the task. I can either do charge or I could do storage. I'm gonna go with storage just for this demo. These are lithium polymer high voltage, so LIHV. And it's gonna put them to storage at 385. It's a 2S pack. Now, definitely not 15 amps, but I wanna go all the way down to 0.3, which is 300 milliamps or 0.3 amp hour charge. And I start the task. Now it's asking me to confirm, is that really high voltage lithium battery? Yes. Okay, and there we go. Now it's putting them to storage charge. So we can see here that is looking at the voltage, and it's just treating it like a 2S pack. Okay, I'm gonna stop this for now. And I'm gonna show you adding more batteries to this. So, of course, best practice is to unplug everything, but honestly, you can do this and just add the rest of your batteries. I know that this is probably what most of us are gonna be doing, and I've tested it this way with this charger and this base, and I don't have a problem. So I'm gonna do 4 for now, just to show you that it will take any number of series batteries. And now, part of my design goals here have been that I don't want you to have something that you can lose. So that's why these wires are integrated into the board. You just come and plug it into, after you plug in your last cell, you come in and you close the circuit with this last cell connector. Now, if you notice, the charger recognized that as 4 cells. It's showing me the voltage for each one. And I can again just go into storage, LIHV, at 3.85 volts, 4S, and 0.34, so 0.3 amps. So it's very important that you only select the number of the batteries. So these are 250 milliamp hours, 0.3. You could go slightly higher, but to be on the safe side, just charge them at 1C, 0.3, since these are very small batteries. And so now I could say start the task. Confirm that I'm dealing with high voltage batteries, yes. And there you go, now it starts charging 4 batteries. Okay, I'm gonna stop once more, just to show you the board with a full set of 6 cells. So now I just go ahead and unplug this. And by the way, when I go and unplug, because this is a board with brand new connectors, just use your thumb and kind of help support that board. Otherwise, you may pull it out of the base. Again, these are just pressure fitted in there. So at least while you're kind of breaking in those connectors, just use your thumb to kind of hold it in place. Now I got all 6. Now, you always need to connect your connector, and that's why I gave you this last cell parking spot. So you take that, and basically you just park it in there. And now I close the circuit, the electrical circuit, and I can see all 6 cells are recognized. And again, I can just start a storage star cycle. Now it's telling me it's 6 cells at 0.3 amps, and just start the cycle. Confirm that these are high voltage. And there we go. Now it's happily charging the batteries. Now, because this board will balance them at storage, I know that they're all going to end up at the 3.85, which is the right voltage for these high voltage Whoop batteries. So that's really it. All you want to do is you want to make sure that you plug in your cells starting from position 1 with as many cells as you need. You can start with 1. You do your last cell connector here, or as many as you need between 1 and 6, and always plug in your last cell connector to close the circuit. So that's it. Again, my goal has been to keep it just as simple and as user-friendly as the first version. For those that want the PH2 connectors, the BT 2.0 connectors, well, you can go and order them together with your board. It's a relatively simple soldering job. If you want them, there's that option for you. Didn't want to make everybody pay for the additional cost, since everyone has these type of batteries. And this is the key. In my mind, this was the one thing that I wanted to get right. I didn't want to give you something that you would unplug and lose. So if you unplug it, it will stay with the board. But whenever you set your batteries, you always want to close the circuit. So always plug in that last cell connector after the last cell, and you should be good to go. I hope you enjoy it. Hopefully we've addressed most of the concerns for everyone, or the feedback that we received. I know that some of you are going to wish that it came pre-configure with those connectors. Who knows? Maybe you can call Raise A Quads and they can do that for you before they ship them to you. It's not standard with the board. It comes like this, but I did want to leave that option for those that really want to be able to charge either type of battery. And, I would recommend that if you do that you charge either one or the other. This connector, the PH2 and the BT connector, these two are connected together, meaning in parallel, right? So use that information as you will and at your own risk. I'm only going to recommend that you either use the PH2 or the BT 2.0 connectors for safety reasons, right? Other than that, I hope you enjoy the board. Hopefully I've addressed the feedback from so many people. And, quite honestly, the reason it's taken so long for me to come out with this new version is because it just takes a while to get through the minimum order that you have to order from China to get the boards made. And so it really wasn't until we exhausted the stock for the original ones that we were able to go and invest in the second version. But I hope you enjoy it, and thank you for being patient while I came out with this later version. Hopefully this meets the requirement and the needs of most people. And if you have any other ideas or suggestions on how could I even improve these any further, please let me know. Thank you very much and enjoy the board. Keep them up in the air. Bye-bye.